Hey everybody, welcome to the SoCal Dram Trm. Thank you, man. This is your boy C.
And I'm Matt. And today on the SoCal Dram Trm, we got a really fun bottle for you. But before we get into the bottle, we just want to say, hey, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that little bell before you leave. That way you know whenever we drop a new video on every Wednesday. If you're a returning viewer, hey, we appreciate you sticking around. Today on the bar, though, we got a fun one. We got a brand new offering from Heaven Hill in the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel. Hit it. So, Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel. Now, I'm not going to get too crazy into the history of Elijah Craig with Heaven Hill because we have reviewed some other Elijah Craigs on this channel. We've done, actually, we've done 3 different Elijah Craigs on this channel now that I think about it. We did just the regular small batch. That was a part of our budget series. We also did
The Cesar 919.
The Cesar 919, that's right. We did 2 Elijah Craig barrel proofs. We did the C919 and we did the B520. You can check out the B520 right here and get our thoughts on both those. This. Ixnay on Uburbane. That's what happens when you're like 10 bourbons in
For the day, yeah.
But nonetheless, you can check that one out up here. It's a twofer is what I was trying to say. But this is Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel. Now, why did I get Toasted Barrel? Well, that ties into my coin. That's right. Hashtag drink more bourbon. It's bourbon night. Chad and Sarah went ahead and reviewed this bottle a few weeks back, and I guess at this point it's probably a few months back. And they weren't shy about it. Heaven Hill sent them out a tasting kit and whatnot. It was really cool as far as just like what they sent them. They actually sent them a couple of staves and whatnot.
Nice.
But this is a toasted barrel, and at the risk of plagiarizing Chad, my apologies, but you did it just so much better than I ever could. But essentially, this is just normal Elijah Craig. Just regular 72% corn, 12% malted barley, and 10% rye that is basically put into a freshly toasted barrel or toasted new oak barrel. One might say this isn't even a finishing process. It's more of like a double oaked, as Sarah would say. Again, try not to plagiarize, but you kind of have to. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are great. Thank you for doing the research. One thing that I thought was interesting is that when they freshly toast the barrels, like let's say this is the fire pit, they take the barrel, they put it over it, they toast it, take it off, then they let it air dry for 18 months.
That's a long time.
That's a really long time. Like if you think about it, like return on investment, right? Like, so you and I both work retail and we are always hearing like, well, no, we need to do this. We need to do that. We need to capitalize all these different things. And we're just like, yeah, okay, sure. Where's the customer again? But that's a really long time to invest on top of the fact that you're aging the whiskey, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, I got to wait 18 months for these barrels to be done to then go ahead and just put it, in there for who knows how long. But nonetheless, I am really excited to get into this. We did crack the neck pour today. We have both tried it. And I will say that it's interesting to say the least. Who are you using for your coins today since I already shouted mine out?
Who am I using? I'm using...
I'm all over the place today, baby. I'm all thumbs by the words of words.
That reminds me... By the words of words.
Question mark gifts just everywhere.
That reminds me of when Adam Sandler likes to do like a stupid voice. Well, who do you wish? Who do you wish?
The Zohan one?
Yeah. Well, no, every time he does like
I've been compared to Zohan. I don't know if I like that.
Well, in general...
I'll take little Nicky. My brother Cassius.
Yeah, you see, every time he does a dumb voice, it's like... it goes to that.
I do love Adam Sandler.
I love him too. Amazing guy. Amazing. For my coaster coin, I'm using my my Bourbon Junkies coin, and then for my topper coin, I'm using my Bourbon Sane because I'm insane bourbon or bourbon insane. When I say to say, you say shady.
It's all in the hips. Okay.
Or the lips in this case.
So the nose. Little bitey in the ethanol, which is interesting because it's only 94 proof, which is 47% ABV. So it's literally just regular small batch. And I love small batch, but I will say every bottle of small batch I've ever had, those first couple pours are pretty tough to get through. They are pretty bitey. Not like they're lacking complexity or lacking flavor. It's just they're very like punch in the face alcohol. Like it's very fresh, new makey type of flavor profile. But once you get past it, once it breathes a little bit, it does taste a little bit nicer. And this one is no exception. Like it's already past the shoulder a little bit, and it's already breathing a little bit nicer, or I should say nosing a little bit nicer than it was even a few hours ago when we first tried it. What are you thinking?
I think it smells like it does. It smells like nail polish, but not as strong. So it's like a neutered.
Like you had one sister, not six.
Like a neutered. That's my life. Like a neutered down nail polish. Like a nail polish it's like 100% bam, but this is like a probably 28% ish nail polish, where it's like you get the hint of the smell of what it is, but as far as how hard it hits your nostrils, it's nowhere near as hard.
I'll tell you one thing before I get too far into the nose. I took a sip intentionally because I wanted to see how long it stayed with me, because normally Elijah Craig gives me a pretty nice hug. Like it gives me a nice little warm feeling in my chest for a little bit. So I wanted to see how this holds up with that, because again, it's the same proof, so in theory it should be the same. Little ethanol-y, like we're saying, but I will say on this particular one, and I don't know if it's just because a couple other reviewers have said the same thing, or if it's just like it's a fairly common thread, I'm getting a very graham crackery, like dark chocolate note out of it, which is different from normal Elijah Craig. I do like that. It's if you're looking for value to why do I pick this up, which by the way retails for about $50. Now you're probably not going to find it for that because it is allocated. So you're probably going to find it anywhere between 60 to 90, maybe even plus. A lot of guys in the areas have been doing like bundles with this and the normal small batch for like $90. I just can't swallow that. I think I paid about $65 on this guy. So $15 above retail, I'm willing to swallow it, because if I bought it online, I'd be paying for shipping. So $65 is what I paid for this, by the way. What are you getting on it? Because I already said graham crackery and dark chocolate.
So I can get behind your graham crackers, but you know what this is reminding me of now that I'm getting a little bit, more influence from it? To me, it reminds me of like if Elijah Craig did a rye. It almost
they do a rye,
or this tastes like a rye to me, like an Elijah Craig rye.
Now, does it taste like a rye, or does it have the bite quality of a rye?
I think it's both. I think it's both, because it tastes a little more like spicier to me too.
I wonder if that's the toasted barrel.
I'm pretty sure it has to do with that. I mean, it has to,
because for all intents and purposes, this is like a double oaked, right? Like, because it's not a finish, so to speak. It's basically like it was aged in the toasted oak. At least I'm guessing. I don't know for how long, but normal Elijah Craig is between 10 to 12 years. I think more so on the former of 10 years. It used to be 12 years, but then they downed the age statement. So I think depending on how long this is finished in those toasted barrels or aged in those toasted barrels, it's more like a double oak. So you get a little bit more of that oak influence, I would say. Like a little bit more of that bitey, not peppery, but like wood tanny, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, 100%. Because I think that's what I'm getting out of it. Because it's like it's a level up, and I really think it tastes like spice. But it's definitely a heightened sense versus the regular Elijah Craig.
So I think it was Shad and Sarah, and again a couple other reviewers, they were talking about like the s'more aspect because of that graham cracker and that dark chocolate, and there was like a gooey marshmallow. Not getting the gooey marshmallow. Again, taste is subjective, so maybe I'm just not getting that right now. But I don't know if I'd go full blown in on s'mores, but I will say this. One of my favorite cereals, this is again Diary of a Fat Kid. One of my favorite cereals, graham crackers.
Is that a cereal?
Graham crackers, sorry, not graham crackers.
My favorite, crushed graham crackers. Throw it in there with a little bit of milk.
Hashtag
graham
edit.
crackers cereal.
Golden grams is what I was going
for. Oh, damn, I haven't heard of those in a while.
Golden grams. I'm getting some solid golden grams coming out of this. Golden grams with maybe just like, if you use them to do like, Rice Krispie treats when they do like the chocolate drizzle on them?
Yeah.
Imagine like the golden grams version, but with chocolate drizzle on it. That's what I'm getting out of this. Because I am still getting some wood sugar, for sure. I don't know why I made the sign for money. But I am getting some wood sugar out of it. So it is sweet. But the ethanol is definitely still there, for sure, of like a normal, like freshly opened Elijah Craig. So I'm excited to see what happens as this goes down the bottle. And hell, now that we have let's see, I got the small batch, I've got the B520, I got the C919, I've got a store pick, and now I've got this. We could do literally a blind of 5 Elijah Craigs. It may be worth doing it at some point. We'll see. You guys want to see that? Let us know down in the comments below. You want to see Matt and Cesar fail horribly at guessing whiskey? Put it down in the comments.
So I dropped a few drops of water in it, and the front is it's pretty much the same thing, but the finish, like, the more you let it dry out, like after you swallow it, like the more air that comes into your mouth after you're done swallowing it with water, it gets a little bit more peppery to me. And the pepper doesn't hit until after you swallow and after you start breathing in air to cool down that whatever the hell had this in your mouth. If that made sense. Did that make sense?
But I can't give you any shit because I've been all over it this video, so it's all right.
So when you're drinking it, you get the liquid in your mouth. But
here's the problem. We started with the little Nicky reference, and we got hit metaphorically with a shovel.
Yeah, no, so the finish is just pepper to me because the more air I get into my mouth as I'm breathing after I swallow it, the more pepper note comes out.
You know what would be interesting is I have a bottle of Woodford Reserve Double Oak. It's a barrel pick, so I mean it's still going to be double oak. It's just going to be specific to Cypress palate. Be interesting to try this side by side. Not right now, but maybe, you know, like for a live or something like that. Is that something you guys want to see us do? Do you guys want to see us do a comparison between this and Woodford Reserve Double Oak? Do you guys want to see us do it live? Let us know in the comments. This is the show where we find out what you want to see us do.
Actually, if there's anything in the past year we reviewed that you want to see us go head to head, let us know.
If we still have the bottle. Which by and large, we should.
Yeah.
I usually don't kill the bottles we can't find right away. Like
you know what?
This Kill Karen 8, she gets nursed.
We'll buy the bottle just for you because we care about you.
Okay, so with the water, I've sipped it a couple of times just to see. So the flavors pretty much stay the same. The nail polish note kind of comes out a little bit that you were talking about. I'll tell you what goes away that I'm not really a fan of is that hug in my chest. With the water, for some reason, I don't get it for as long. And it's probably just the finished kind of just dissipates with it.
Here you go. Here you go. You got it now.
Now I have the little bastard. No, I'm just kidding. If I do, you're a dead man. Right after me, I guess. This is a dark episode. Let's cut that out. Jesus. People are like, yeah, click that link. Totally unsubscribing. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's wrap this up because we're rambling. Okay, so $65 is what I paid, $50 retail. I do love me some Elijah Craig. I've been quoted as saying Elijah Craig makes all things better. I do still adhere to that fact. I am looking forward to this airing itself a little bit. I am going to, I wish we gave halves. I'm giving this a 3. I think I would land this really at a 3.5 because I think there's something to it. I really do think there's something to it. And I think when it opens up a little bit, we are going to love this personally. I think that, I don't know what your thoughts are. You're going to let me know in a minute, but it's not quite a 4, especially for 65. Now, if I could get this at like $40, maybe it's pushing a 4. But I think it's different enough to where if you can try it, you definitely should. I think if you're a fan of Elijah Craig, you should definitely pick it up because I think it's something you'll like. But overall, it's a solid 3. I think it's solid, middle of the road. Not doing it quite enough for me today, but it's enjoyable. What do you think?
So, unfortunately, I'm gonna rate it a 2 because this falls under the category of the B whatever batch. Like, there was definitely a lot of potential, and there was a lot of hype around this because I saw this pop up everywhere as soon as it came out. But especially for that price point, I'm gonna give it a 2 because I don't think it lived up to the standards.
Even at 50, you'd give it a 2?
Yeah, at $50, okay. I'd still give it a 2.
I'm just making sure I understood.
To be honest, like I would rather buy their regular small batch.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I was torn on. Like at $25 for small batch or $50 for this.
Yeah.
Is there that much of a difference for me to go, yeah, it's worth double the price?
Exactly. Yeah, for me, so that for those reasons is why I'd give it a 2 because I would still rather buy the small batch for the flavors it gives at the price point as well.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think I'm not going to go lower. I was thinking for a second, do I want to bring mine down to a 2? But I think a 3 is solid because, again, I know what Elijah Craig will do for me and my particular palate, and I know as this goes down the bottle, I'm really going to probably start to really enjoy this one. Actually, it's funny you mentioned the B520. I had a sip of that the other day, and it's already gotten better. So again, it's a 2 from Cesar. It's a 3 from me. Hit us up in the comments. Have you had Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel? Let us know what your thoughts are. What are you paying for it? I'm kind of curious to see which it is out there in the world. But nonetheless, guys, hit us up. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We love interacting with you guys there. Again, if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you're a returning viewer, we appreciate you sticking around. But don't forget, everybody hit that bell. That way you know whenever we drop a new video every Wednesday. And more importantly, hit the subscribe button. It's right here. I know I already said it, but I missed pointing at it. So again, it's right here. We appreciate you guys sticking around. You got anything else you want to add today, Cesar?
Now, what about you, brother?
Stay safe and drink well, folks. All aboard! Catch you next time. Hey, everybody. Hope you liked that video.
Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications.
And don't forget to subscribe.